But what I've come to realize is that some of the things that I say no to are the things that the people that I say no to actually value more than what I say yes to.
When do you think your last system update was? Computer updates. It
Mm-hmm.
might be some new features, some things might be taken away. You going through a moment of time in which, whether a perspective, an ideological change, and where you like, maybe this label isn't what fits me anymore.
So my question is, can beauty be trusted? Are we in a place societally with social media and where you could find yourself trusting a 10?
My question is, are you a good person? Are any of us good people? Like, we all make mistakes. But who am I to judge a person, whether he's good or bad, off his worst mistake? Because I wouldn't want nobody to judge me off my worst mistake or my lowest moment or when I was fighting my demons or based off the skeletons I have in my closet.
This is something I thought would be hilarious. So you have to 1 to 10 yourself.
Well, I'll say welcome back to the To Be Fair Show. I am your host, Johnny P.
Oh, here, real?
It's cute.
And we back. We got a good one lined up for y'all. Episode 12.
What you had too.
Season 3, episode 12. 13.
Yeah, see,
We're going to get to, I think we're at 14, but it's all right.
do your job, Johnny. See, this is what I be talking about. This is the stuff that I be talking about.
Where the chair? We're going to need a chair today already.
Yeah, where the chair?
Wait a minute. Yeah, give it to me.
tell him
Yeah,
the
I'm
chair.
finna get hit with it, nigga. You finna get hit with it. I want us, before we get too far along, I want to tell everybody, ding the bell, hit the notification. 13, okay. Season 3, episode 13. All went off, bro. Calm down. It'll be
Still
cool.
off,
It'll
bro.
be cool. Hit the like button. That helps us with the algorithm. It helps
Please.
put these videos that we work hard on in front of y'all. So I appreciate that. Go on and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads. It's the To Be Fair Show. Follow all of those. Tap in. More content coming soon. We got a good one lined up for y'all today.
I have one for y'all this week. So at my job, we're going through, I guess what you would call like a system update currently, where we're about to go from one platform to another platform with what we do, and it kind of got me thinking in a sense of like us as people, and how necessary system updates are, and B, how like when was the last time I could say that I did a system update? And I think that's just a good question for us to unpack together to an extent. Where
Do you mind defining system updates?
So to me, as I think of like system update, it's almost kind of like you going through a moment of time in which, whether a perspective, an ideological change, a growth inside a certain spot, like whenever like any like your computer updates or something like that, it might be some new features that get there, some things might be taken away, X Y Z, but I like to ask y'all, when do you think your last system update was?
The big one for me, I mean, I think it's probably most people to say this, but during the beginning stages of the pandemic, it was the first time I had enough open space with nothing else going on to just sit back and think about shit. Think about what's been going on up until that point. Think about how we're gonna move forward from that point. I learned different skills during that time. I got a new perspective on a lot of stuff. Hell, I mean, even some of my initial reactions to it 2-3 years later, I found out I might have been wrong about a lot of stuff. Even like initially in the pandemic.
Ethereum.
Nah, we holding, baby.
You holding?
We holding.
What y'all at now?
We holding. I ain't, bro. I done turned off my Coinbase notification.
Oh no.
Me too.
I feel it.
It's just in there.
Yeah. I got one for Matic. This shit jumped back up and hit one of my benchmarks, but I ain't gonna sell it. But yeah, so it's coming back up. It's coming.
You
back
got faith.
up.
I ain't mad at you.
Hey, that's what it's about when it's low. But hey, even speaking on the investing thing, that's one of the things I did, and not just that, but the systems of how this country operates. I got to learn, and that was a system reboot for me on how I was operating up until that point and how I want to operate from that point. So that'd be my last system update, probably about that'd be what 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah,
I would say I think that I'm like currently going through a system update. I want to say, like the idea of becoming a girl. That I know that in itself is going to be a system update per se. But I don't know. I think that I typically go through like a system update like every 3-4 years in general, and that comes out and it manifests itself within like different changes inside, whether it's not specifically ideology, but like ways of movement, where like there was artist Quint, there was coach dad father Quint, there was homeowner Quint, there was
podcast
Quint. Then there's about to be marriage dad Quint with a daughter, and all of those kind of have like different unique features to what it took to get them to that spot, and things that they took away and things that they added. But real, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean it's a great question, and for me, it's been within the last couple months. I'm gonna say 3. Within the last 3 months, with my transition from sector, my job sectors, also within like my family, and I think that a lot of this, the pod as well, it was like a few things kind of conjoined together to create this update. You know what I mean? It was a few things. You know what I mean? The system saw that it was some perks and some things that need to be changed around. And, you know what I mean? And hey, I think I had to take out a hard drive and get a new hard drive this time to be able to carry the information.
You ain't running on Linux, is you?
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, bro. Hey, I'm telling you, I had to. It's a big thing, especially like the in between time. You know what I mean? Going through making the decision to change sectors, but then not actually having everything concreted the way you would have liked to, or you did as much research as you could do, and then you end up knowing that wasn't, you know what I mean? You didn't get all of the information necessary to make the transition as easy as you would like it to be, but then also adapting to and making sure that all of the boxes remain checked. And then there's a level of understanding and I guess like grace that you allow yourself. That was something that downloaded this time. That was a level of grace that I had to give. You know what I mean? I've learned to give myself, and I appreciate it. I didn't have grace for myself too much prior to, and this time it's like, man, bro, you ain't gonna have it right every time. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be 100% prepared and prepped for the thing every time. You can try, you know what I mean, but it's just a try, and that's good enough. You know what I mean? And so like it was a lot, man. Even when it came down to like parenting, realizing like the things that I would have naturally put on the other person, I within the time frame, like I literally had to start doing these things myself as well. So like now it's like where we always talk about where it's a partnership. I'm starting to see a lot more things as a partnership than I had seen previously. Understanding, like, bro, I downloaded a lot. And that was a great question. I downloaded a lot, and it's still downloading until you know what I mean. The installation is not complete yet. There's a lot to download and to upload at the same time. And yeah, that would be.
I will say that I did notice that you downloaded Green Polo, No More White Tees.
What? No more white tees?
What they call them, skins on the video?
No, what I did. Nah, I ain't gonna go there.
Stop, bro. That man.
I was about.
What?
I was gonna talk about me and Tone's mom's connection just now.
Yeah,
I was downloading. Well, I was gonna say.
Well placed.
Hey, my thing was that the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth it updated my Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So like, I think I got. And as a matter of fact, my display is really like that. So like, imagine seeing, you know what I mean, somebody that you really like to see in 8K.
8K.
In 8K. You know what I
8K.
mean?
Oh, you got that. You got that retina
He
display.
bringing
Hey.
them neutrals for the fall. Y'all see green polo rail. Talk to him.
Hey,
Hey,
green
you know what I mean?
neutrals. What that is?
Yeah,
Earth,
you
earth
can
Earth
tones.
tones.
You
And
can
then that's why, it kind of,
Earth tones.
I think she might have picked it out for me.
Man, I
when
definitely
you
ain't been
say
in.
she, what do you mean by that?
Hey, we'll leave that up to the
What
imagination.
do you mean by that?
I'm just
Hey,
told
people,
no.
comment below.
Anyway.
Hey, to comment below, who is she?
Right. So to build on that,
I got
so
a
we
question.
know.
I want to ask you a question.
All right, go ahead.
I want to ask you a question. My question is, cause you said something that made me think, and I'm gonna keep the metaphor going a little bit. What's the difference between like a total system update and like the little everyday updates that you get? Cause like even with a computer,
But those like patches.
Yeah.
but
You gonna run some patches, and you gonna learn as you continually going.
Oh,
And
nah.
sometimes you like reach
The
like
system got to catch up to the patches. Once the patches
Yeah.
get to a
once you
place,
got
the
too many
system has to
patches,
be.
Because you
Yeah.
update and then you find them bugs that's within the update. And
that.
so you got the doggone patch them bugs.
you gotta patch
Yeah.
everything. Cause like you said every 3-4 years.
That's typically what
Average.
it ends
I
up
think
being
that's
for
a
me.
long
And
What
time.
you think?
so if
Man, what on like a
It-
man? I can't really say mine is more based in like environment. Like you know, it's not necessarily. I can't really give like a time span to it. My shit just
What about you, Tone?
asked a question that you didn't allow to get answered.
It's actually been a thing. This has actually been a thing for me since I was like, I was in maybe like third grade. Like I used to have this thing. Like I kind of do an upgrade. I feel like definitely every year.
Okay.
But yeah, even at different times where I realize, okay, like this system isn't working out. It's time to change. Like I used to have it in my head, be like, yeah, I get in the shower and get out, be like, yeah, I'm Tonyo 2.0 now, or I'm Tonyo 3. Like however I be thinking about it. It's always been like that for me in my head. So it's like I make adjustments like that.
Well, I ain't good because I was gonna say like this last time over the pandemic, like it was like I noticed it. I was like, oh shit, I'm a different person out of that. But it feels like I'm coming up on
the
like
next update.
time. It's time like I've been operating on that Windows 2020, whatever you want to call it, for like 3-4 years. And you said every 3 years, and it's like it's coming on that fourth year. It
Right.
might be time to like do another reevaluate and figure out how like this next chapter is going and what I can do to position myself to have the right tools for the next chapter.
Yeah, and
That's
I
hard.
think that like if we take it, just purely out of the metaphor form, but like directly go to what you were speaking about, I think that what happens is that over a course of time, we tend to accumulate ideas that or like we begin to develop beliefs that have been challenged and are like maybe like diopposed to like previous beliefs that we had.
Or the
And
information
but it
that
happens
you're
inside
getting.
like small incremental steps into where like eventually you start to notice like you might say like hypocrisy inside like the way that you think or something like that.
Right.
Or like contradictions, maybe that's a better word. And where you like, maybe this label isn't what fits me anymore due to like the learning that I've went through or like the experience that I've went through X, Y, and Z.
There's one thing, and this is it doesn't necessarily go right into what we were just talking about. I had a older I would say a homie from like back in the day that I hadn't talked to for a while, and I recently talked to him, and it was great to talk to him because like hearing the place where he is now, it's like, bro, you sound mentally more healthy. You know what I mean? It was dope to hear. You know what I mean? Obviously, he had downloaded some new, you know what I mean, information, and like he's on a different plane. And but you know what it was? It was like we was talking about it, and he felt like that he had to leave everything. He had to leave everything that was here in order to get to the place and the mentality that he
had a
is in.
disconnect.
And I you know, a lot of times you'll hear people say like oh, I'm gonna move out of the, you know what I mean, just move. And then like in the military, you'll see a lot of people. They'll leave where they are, come to the military, and then they'll recreate themselves. A lot of the times with the men, they'll tell a lot of lies.
That happened every place.
I can't say like with the women because in the you know when I was in training and stuff, we were literally not able to
Don't
You know what I
ask,
mean?
don't tell.
Fraternize. With
Don't
I
ask,
think
don't
that's
tell.
something way.
This
Something totally
nigga.
different. Yeah, like we ain't gonna let that slide.
No, we're not gonna let that slide. What are you talking about?
That's different. What do you mean by that?
I was actually, I was
Yeah, no.
he joking. I wouldn't know him. I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah. I guess if I was to move
What the
the
fuck?
different nigga.
That man say don't ask, don't tell. What
Like
the
slipped it in there real casually.
Yeah. The whisper
fuck?
voice.
You want to put the oil down.
Yeah.
Leave the oil.
So I asked this question to kind of continue on like that the theme. You know how like when the new iPhone's dropping, when like the new Galaxy or whatever's dropping, right? There's always features that you see how like these niggas is different.
You over yourself, boy.
Like I be trying to like I don't even want to engage in the Android iPhone one. I be
Hey,
trying to
no.
like figure out like I just want to
Bro,
get to the point.
it just
Them
happened.
niggas,
Go
I
ahead,
just
bro.
be trying to get through it.
Go ahead.
Tell us about a USB-C.
Alright,
chill
see, I'm only trying not to engage in it, but
Go ahead, bro. Let it go. Go ahead.
dang it,
Let's be mature, Tone.
I'm trying not to. But no, so like whenever they have like the different events and shit, when Microsoft have the events, when Apple have the events, and they're like speaking about the new features that's coming, or you have the consumers in which they're thinking about like what features I would like to have. I'll ask y'all this: what are some features that you would like to see on your next update?
Mm.
Them niggas wasn't ready for that. It was
Nah,
joke.
nah,
That's a
nah.
good question.
You see
That's
that?
a good
No.
question.
Oh shit! You
That boy, I
that?
see what he did there, but for me personally, I want to see myself be more fearless in leadership. I feel like that's a space where I've backed down in the past, where I knew I was this, but I ain't necessarily want to accept the responsibilities that came with that. So that'd be one, like just based on like the D, just being like fearless in who I am, and like just walking my path and not caring what people think, but knowing that me walking this path is gonna bring a lot of people with me. And so that'll be the one I gotta say. It's just I just gotta be more fearless, and I gotta work on my leadership.
Tone?
Oh man, I was saying I really was thinking, but I would say like commitment. And it's not that I'm not committed to stuff. It's that just that like I have like I'm kind of a one focused person, but I kind of want to be I do want to be able to handle more. So I guess like yeah, I would say that processing speed, I guess, or that graphics processing unit. You know, I work on computers, so I
The
like this conversation.
GPU, man,
Yeah,
that
that
need a new
GPU. I'm
GPU.
trying to add a GPU, bro. I'm trying to doggone like get more accomplished as far as like especially to as far as what I'm committed to, like being better in that.
It's a good question. I think what I would like to have or see within my next upgrade would probably be okay. So this is gonna take a little bit of unpacking, right? So like, um, I realized and like people around me realized that like there are certain things that you don't and see. And at first, I hung my hat on the fact that like as I became a man, I was like, well, no is a very strong word for men. It's one of the most important words for men. Um, but what I've come to realize is that some of the things that I say no to are the things that the people that I say no to actually value more than what I say yes to. So like for me,
Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, like you might have to repeat that one
That's
because
like something that be getting snaps and shit, and
like
like
like like
you
like like yeah,
That's
like
bar.
and
like
That was a
repeat
good bar.
that one. Like
well, it's like
That was
it's almost like the
digging.
idea, like a simplified version of it. It's like where people say love language.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So like the way in which I decide to show you that I love you, it's not necessarily so. And I'll just go back. So the way that the things that I say no to, I stand on that, and I have stood on that for years. So like people know not to ask me for certain things.
What you saying that their yeses might they might be more steadfast on the yes than you are the no?
No. What I'm saying is that they would appreciate and love more that I didn't say that I would say no to something else when it had something to do with them. So to say like like I said, I stay hard on my nose, right? So like let's say I'll give an example. So I don't do funerals, right? I don't do funerals, and that's something that I do for they know that I don't do them, so it's not like a thing if I miss one. You know what I mean? But then it's like, okay, well, this is the time period where people need me more than what it is that I'm. You know what I mean? A funeral, that's where you're supposed to be there for your people. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be there, and for me, it was a selfishness within me that's saying like, I don't want to deal with these emotions. So they know I'm not going, but it's like, okay, so what are you going? You know what I mean? How do you stand and say that I'm not going to go when you know that this is the place where they need you most?
They need you. So it's
You know what I
like
mean? But they know that like if they need to ask for something, then I come through or like with my time. I'm a much more selfish person with my time than I am with resources.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? That trade off. So it's literally like it's like a love language. It's like love language outside of relationship. Love language with your family. And I wanna and man, that's probably it right there. My family going through a rough time right now with like my grandpops. And I find myself as like so emotionally. I don't know if it's a defense mechanism that I've kind of grown into. You know what I mean? That I've like fucking downloaded over and over and over, and now this joint is like you can't even you know what I
it's
mean
just
get
second
past
nature.
the
It's
joint.
just
Like yeah, so like I don't know if that. It seems as though that's probably what it was. Something happened, and I just literally just compounded that thing and made sure that you couldn't get past a certain place, or I didn't allow things to get me past a certain place. So yeah, I want to break that wall down in the next download
and you're saying that your family
or
needs
upgrade.
you more for them like when you said the funeral, like they might need you to go to that funeral more than like you don't need to be there. And so you're learning to give
Remember?
Or more
give
than like maybe like saying that, but I'll pay for X, Y, and Z at the
Mm-hmm.
funeral.
right, but they need you like
Yeah.
they might need you there to for that shoulder more so than they need you to pay for the food at the repast.
Right.
The
And then
resources don't matter,
a
but
whole bunch of different things like the time. Like I just my time. I got to get out of this next download. Is just like it's a comfortable place that I have. That I have to allow myself to get uncomfortable to get this download to actually happen and have it happen in a way that benefits everybody, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to benefit everybody. And so like what I've been doing is keeping making sure that I've been comfortable. And it's like not just me, but my you know what I mean, my
well,
kids and you know what I mean? That's been the thing, but it's also like, bro, there's more to it
to
than that.
give you grace, the provider needs to be comfortable. Like in order to provide, like being comfortable is an important part of that. But you talking about that balance.
Yeah, but bro, you know something that and I say this from time to time, like I like to say my back strong. I be on that super like the old school man shit. Like that's literally like I be on that type time. I be on that type time, and I think that that's something else I need to go ahead and up on my next upgrade is to you know what I mean humanize myself a little bit more and not fucking just look at everything like you know that I you know what I mean like just humanize myself
That's
more, give
fact.
myself maybe more grace. I thought I was giving myself grace and I probably ain't.
We need to we need to let this nigga answer that question.
Yeah, well, I think
My
that
bad, I was
y'all.
going on and
No,
on.
Oh no, no.
no. You was giving bars
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Jules.
If you had more to unpack, because I think mine was more surface level. I think that y'all went deeper, in thought, inside one, and so I was kind of like trying to find like a more in depth one. But if I
Nigga
just
thought we
go
was
with
joking, man.
Yeah, I didn't come to play, nigga. What do you think this is? Nah, it's fine.
no, listen, all I'm saying, listen. But no, what I'd say is that on my next system update, I think that I want to step into the entrepreneur space, and
Mm,
that's something that I'm going to be a little bit more intentional about, like downloading a lot more of that information and starting to get a little bit more of a grasp on that. So like I'm about to start the patches. You know,
mm.
start like different little patches. start my walk, and I'm sure that that's going to come with a
What,
plethora.
nigga? My bad, bro.
Oh,
Trying to catch this boy, bro. Know what's wrong with your partner, bro? There's something wrong with him, bro. Go ahead.
I ain't say
man.
nothing. I
Hey,
ain't
what you
say.
looking at me for, bro? He talking. Why you looking at me? Go ahead, bro. My bad. I apologize.
That I'll land it there. Yeah, just entrepreneurship. Interesting
Look, I
space to
think this would
divide.
be the perfect time for a properly placed pen.
PPP. All right, so shoot, my topic of the week. I guess I'm gonna just ask the question first, and then I'll kind of allow y'all to know where I'm from. So my question is, can beauty be trusted?
I say,
Right.
I say.
I think he wants
God
to
damn,
unpack.
what's I going?
Oh, I thought he
I
was
just
done.
said that.
He said, "Can beauty be trusted?" I thought that was it. My bad. I'll shut up. Continue.
My boy Johnny on one today, bro. He on one today. But
He got a strong opinion about this one.
yeah, he was going off the rip. I ain't even really get to even. But yeah, no. So like I was. This came from. As a matter of fact, this been a conversation I was having with one of the homies, Tank, for some time, and he was talking about how like I always was telling him like I ain't really on the the whole like on the bad joint like the tens and all of that stuff, and then he always told me he was like the reason why you don't like him is because you insecure,
Mm.
and I was like at first it was like me trying to like debate with him whether it was insecurity or not, and then like over time I kind of realized, and then we talked about insecurities. I think that was either the last show or the show before that, and I really realized like I'm okay with whether you want to call it insecurity or not, um, but I think that there's a level of truth that I feel has come from my experience when it as it relates to, let's say, the this whole idea of the bad Jones and all of that, and so it was like, are we in a place societally with social media and all of that where you could find yourself trusting a 10?
We are. Can I, you done?
I'm done.
Okay, all right. I ain't wanna cut you off again. My bad. But I think we are in the place where you where people do trust beauty. Now, whether you can, whether that's the right thing, I'm gonna get to that. But we in our society, people do trust beauty. Like that's what they go off of. Like they see something that looks good, that sounds good, and
Mm.
they just are attracted to that just because of off initial. Now, can you, if you look at like how nature is and like the world that we've lived in for thousands of years, usually in nature, you gotta watch out for the colorful shit. Like it's for predators, like poison dart frogs. They're the prettiest frogs you've ever
Mm.
seen.
True.
Can't touch them motherfuckers. Like one drop of they dick will kill your ass. A lot of the flowers that you see, and or even like snakes and snails, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of a
What
lot
about
of the way they
flamingos?
hide their a lot of the way they hide their dangers through what we would say is beauty. A lot of them animals and predators, they know, oh shit, I see that red shit. I'm not even going towards that because I already know that's poisonous, and there's that. So you shouldn't trust beauty because everything's not how your eye perceives it. And just because something looks good, you always have to like, watch out for what's the other side. Now, not saying that everything that looks good is bad, but
Mm.
just to trust something just because it's beautiful, it's a very dangerous thing. Just like being humans, like the Indians and shit, they probably had to worry about shit like that when they was when you people was living off the land. They knew what flowers to eat, what plants to eat, which ones were poisonous, which ones weren't, and it wasn't based off beauty. Because if you just go off beauty, you end up dead a
But
lot of
was the
times.
chief trusting
No,
the 10 Pocahontas?
nah, nah, and that's something totally different than beauty. But we'll
Well,
get
my
to
bad.
that.
Did you say Native Americans or Indians? Just then?
He said Indians.
Oh,
Hey, my bad, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
I want to apologize to the
now,
native people.
now
I
sit
meant to
nigga
say,
style.
huh?
Nigga style.
That's great. That'll always be great. But nah, I meant to say natives because yeah, I meant that's what they prefer. I meant to say the Native Americans, native people to this land. But
Yeah.
but but those people they didn't trust beauty; they trusted experience. So you'd see the beautiful plant, beautiful flower. I'm not grabbing that because I know from experience that's what a poison is.
So you said that you saying that
No, I think
but
So you can't trust beauty. You gotta trust experience. You gotta trust character. There's so many other things to trust outside of just beauty.
but so you can't trust a 10. Is that like in essence what you said through those metaphors?
Is that what you asking? Can I trust a 10?
That was like his literal question. That's like verbatim what he
A
asked.
literal question. Can you trust a girl just because she's a 10?
no, but hold on, and then when
Because
I
that's a
say
crazy question
He
to ask.
gave the whole metaphor,
Can
like
you?
the insecurity and like.
But I'm going someplace else, and I'm coming back to ask the question because I don't think it's you can't. I'm saying you can't trust it not based off insecurity. It's just based off we know like growing up the girl like shit looks good. Like the whole phrase sound good. The shit looks good. It sounds good. That don't mean it can be trusted. There's always layers to shit. So should you like trust a book based off its cover? Because a book has a good cover, that means it'd be a shitty ass book.
What if you read the back too though?
That's a cover.
I'm asking. Does that count for nothing?
Still a cover. They put all kind of shit. You gotta read the book.
I like looking at the art, like the what the author look like, and then like the bottom right too.
And the little insert. Nah, you don't trust that neither. So my thing is no, you don't trust beauty. Now there might be other.
Trust a 10 in today's time.
Not just because she's a 10. If she shows me other trustworthy qualities, I could trust her. But I'm not trusting nobody just because they a 10.
I don't know if that was like what he was asking either. I think Johnny gonna answer what he want to answer.
he answering his own questions.
I'm unpacking this shit. Like there's layers to this.
It's
shit.
like that's the
There's
box right
layers to
there,
it.
but then you keep unpacking that one over there. All right. I guess that's what you
There's
want.
some books in there or something he was saying.
Yeah.
Man, y'all know what I was saying. I think that shit made
like,
perfect.
that was great. Snakes and frogs and all kind of shit.
Bro, you don't trust beauty.
They
Like,
was
you
in the
can't.
box.
So my answer would be, you said, can you trust a 10? My answer would be, it depends on how she became a 10. So
she grew into it.
Yes. Then yes. The
I
answer would be
see you.
yes.
I see you.
But if she always was that, probably not.
But I don't know if 10s grow into 10 though.
What's
I think
the
that
They definitely do. All the time.
But what I'm saying
It's
is that
too
they
many-
go from but where did they start from though?
Like it's some 10s that started at like 5
He
in high
need to
school.
unpack that. He need to unpack that.
Oh, okay.
Like,
It's an easy one because I see it way too many times. It's the quote unquote geeky girl that couldn't dress, that didn't have her shit together, didn't understand how to put herself together. But you could always see that like
She was cute.
She was like she was pretty. But like she might not, like she might have had like the sideburns still. Her hair wasn't specifically done.
She had sideburns.
Hey, a lot of them joints grew up to be bad.
Yeah, like the
bad.
at one time they used to like the Shanti sideburns.
I know 2, 3 of them that had the
that's what I'm
Shanti
talking about. Like
sideburns.
she had a beard,
And now they bad.
But like she didn't know, like she might not have had the money actually to get her hair done. Shoes, XYZ, but she went to college and she got a good job, and now she's able to put herself together, and like there's no doubt.
So what are you trusting? Are you trusting the experience? Are you trusting everything that made her a 10?
I think that like that woman okay, so that woman has developed way more value in herself outside of her aesthetics in comparison to the woman that has always only been known as beautiful, and that's what they hung their hat on, and that's what they leverage to get any and everything they want.
Yeah, she probably had a baby young too.
Possibly, if not young, she probably had an abortion.
Oh, I guess I never answered the question.
Yeah.
I would say still it's a hard pass. I think that like at this point, even if you grow into it, 9 times out of 10, you still have assimilated to the social media hoopla with it, and the likes and the attention. A lot of the times you've assimilated to that, even if you did grow into it, you appreciate the shit out of it now. You know what I mean? So I still I still it still be a pass for me. And let's
So
say
you don't trust no 10s. If she a 10, you automatically can't trust her.
Real said 7s and below in his DM.
Ain't no 7, so it's 6 and below.
6 and below.
hey, I'm not mad at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at it. I like a strong 6.
So, like, if a girl's attractive, she's untrustworthy. Off rip. Just because she's attractive.
It depends on what it's it depends on what
That's
is
a wild
attractive
take.
about.
Like, that's what,
It depends on what
that's
is
what y'all
attractive
try to
about.
box it. That's what.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
ain't wrong with that one. Oh, he said he boxing you in. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I tried to give like a more like.
No, you were just saying like fluff words.
No, I was giving layers about why you don't trust beauty and why you trust the experience. And he's saying
That wasn't the
no.
question
He's
that he
saying
asked.
no matter the experience, if she achieves a certain level of beauty, I can no longer trust her, even if she
Yeah,
wins.
so she can't trust one, but you actually can trust the 10. Is what you're saying.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I was on
and
the
I
other
agree
side.
with that.
I was on the other side myself. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I'm not saying after you
If
done
she
had
pretty,
casual
saying,
conversation. You know how long I had to talk to you for me to trust you as
How
a
far out
10?
you thought you letting the 10 go?
Hey, I was telling. It was funny you say that. It's funny you say that. When me and old head be talking about it.
She pull out,
when
real
me-
pull out.
Hey, look. Hey, look. She a 10. Nigga ain't going to work and shit. Missing extra days. Gotta make sure our days off the same.
Riding by a job and shit.
Yeah, like I ain't built for that. You know what I mean?
Man, that's
I got
crazy,
too much
dog.
responsibility to be. You know what I mean? Just being
So
honest.
if you was to unpack that, what is your insecurity within that? Well, you might not know yet, but what is the thing in that thing lie at?
Yeah,
Because there has to be a thing in there.
It's really just it's the social media and attention thing. It's to me, I think that the better women are used to a certain amount of attention which they've craved based on, you know what I mean, the way that they've been brought up, they crave it. Or even if they weren't brought up that way, just the way that society
And, all right,
even
What
like
if she's a 10 with no IG?
yeah, and I guess I was about to say that. So when you say bad in
Mhm.
10s,
I think
like I don't
when I
look
say
at
10 is like this is a rare number. This is a rare
sure,
number when I say 10s. But go ahead.
sure. But I guess what do you denote to that? Because I think that there's like 10s inside a bunch of different fields, and like there's good 10s and bad 10s. There's there's 10s that operate like really regular women, and there's 10s that yield quote unquote that power is a thing. And yeah, so when you're saying 10s, to me it almost like seems as though when you're talking about like social media and influence XYZ, it seems like that's speaking more so to like the social media influencer 10.
That's a personality type. Like you're talking about a personality of like that you see most beautiful women have.
Right.
Not necessarily the actual beautiful women. Because there's a lot of beautiful women that don't have that same
and
personality.
and also when I make a
behind
lot of general statements. So like if we're gonna, and when I say general, I mean like in my opinion, the predominant population of these people are act like this or think like this. It's not that because of course
okay, so it's not that you wouldn't. You just saying that
Right.
you probably
it's gonna be more that if I was to talk to a 10, then you better know that we didn't mess around. I don't come off of what.
Coming off the ledge a little bit. You walking it back.
Oh no, I'm not walking it back.
You said you would never, but now.
No, listen. What I'm saying is,
it
would take so much. It would take so much time for me to feel like I could trust him.
Yeah,
but I'm saying okay, but what if the
that's
10,
like if you grew up with a 10? Now that's different.
No, let me ask you this. What if that 10 didn't have an IG or social media, and you just met her at your job, and she was a 10, and you knew she didn't have, you still wouldn't trust her?
I wouldn't trust it. I'm gonna have to figure
it
out.
But what do y'all rate as 10s?
And that's a great
But that's
question because I wonder.
subjective. It's like
so
whatever.
remember, I actually called Quinn. I actually called Q, and you remember that when I called.
One of y'all was saying her was a 10?
No. I was asking you.
Gabby Wilson?
No, I was asking you. I asked him, was Beyonce a 10? And he said,
that's not
yes.
what you said. You said
yes.
who? No.
I said it was two statements I made. I said, is Beyonce a 10? And then I asked you, was Beyonce better than her?
Those are both of the statements that you.
Those exact because I asked like 4 people.
Okay, I remember.
What did he say? He thought Beyonce.
He said Beyonce was a 10, and he said Beyonce was better than her.
Hold on, wait. So I also said words to the 10 at all. But But hold on, I can strike it back. Like if we're gonna go on the ledge and say Beyonce's the 10, hey,
I mean, that's what you said. We didn't do shit. You said
oh my
that.
bad. So again, I'll reframe the question. If I'm going on the ledge of saying Beyonce's a 10, then all right. That's an easy bridge to stand on.
Okay.
Same difference of saying like Beyonce was more attractive than Gabby Wilson. I think that though, like, and
That's her real name.
yeah.
Okay.
But if what I was saying, the fact that I put more words in there, so I asked you to define it, or maybe I
No,
didn't
you
ask
didn't,
that.
bro. It was a quick conversation. You
No.
remember how quick that was?
So let me finish talking.
I wish I would have heard this.
Bro, it was
No,
a
for
quick,
sure.
quick and easy conversation because I was actually sitting on the porch
So
talking.
again, he'll want me to finish that because I asked you a couple qualifying things.
You
And that's
did
like,
it.
I did. I said if we're talking about like, huh?
I said, what questions you asked?
I don't even. I
This
think
nigga
that.
lying, bro. He's making this shit up right now, bro. Go ahead.
Let
Ask
him
your
finish
question.
though. Let him get it off. Let him
All
get
right,
it
get
off.
it off.
It's Judge Johnny P. All
All right. Drop the mallet.
Gotcha. All I'm gonna say is one. When do I ever answer anything just as a yes or no? It's really rare.
That's true.
Really rare, right?
But I
that,
actually,
that should be it in itself. But what I said is that by what standards? And then when we talked about comparing those two, I said if I forget like the exact wordage, but if I said if we're going by like traditionally what you might think of as like pretty X, Y, and Z, because I already know that the other side of the argument, if you're comparing those two, would have to lean on the fact of like her art, how artistic, her talent, X, Y, Z, and that's what I hedged my bet on early that. But yeah.
You think her?
hold on.
You think hers a 10? Who thinks hers a 10?
Judge, hold on. None of that shit happened.
All right, gotcha. Now I'm gonna tap.
None of that shit happened.
So
I'm gonna actually tap out then.
In your head, when you asked that,
I just asked the question because what I was doing, because I was actually talking with a female, and I was asking her. We were talking about like the difference between what a man would judge, like how men judge men, and how women judge women, and like the difference between how the opposite sex would judge the you know what I mean, the same people. So that's where the conversation came in. So I was just simply asking dudes like, do you think Beyonce is a 10? And then I use her as an example because I think her is pretty. Which at the end of the day, I use her as an example to see like, okay, so you think which one you think is prettier? And so the thing was is that I thought that people were going to be standing on my side. Like to me, Beyonce's not a 10.
Neither is
Then
Gabby Wilson
to me,
compared to Beyonce.
no, what I'm saying, and this is only I'm not talking about your career and shit. That doesn't have anything to do with when we're rating, we're using Kevin Samuels' scale, which is what did he say? Your face, fresh. You know what I mean? No makeup, no hair. That we're using that. That's what we've been using, even on our show. You know what I mean? So that's what I was using.
Shout out to Godfather.
Yeah, rest in peace. And so, yeah, that was the premise. And so what my thing was that I was thinking like Beyonce's not a 10, but then I had so many dudes actually double down
like,
on.
what was the other side? You said Gabby Wilson was better than Beyonce.
Right. That's what I said.
That's not true.
Right.
That's not true.
That's what I said.
That's not true.
And the thing is, I'm okay with that part. I'm okay with that part.
Beyonce might not be a 10, but Gabby Wilson still.
Man, I'm sorry. Like if we just
hey,
if we're talking about 25-year-old Beyonce,
I like Gabby Wilson too.
If we're gonna put who you putting over 25-year-old Beyonce? Just like if we just saying she's not a 10, which would mean that maybe she's an 8 or 7.
Here's one. 25-year-old Christina Milian.
And I go to a.
Like she was bad. I
think she's up there, but I think 25-year-old Beyonce is a prototype of a very specific type.
And let's not go.
And it just is what it is.
I'm not gonna try to light skin us to death, but Alicia Keys.
Nah,
Beyonce's better.
Sheesh.
Yeah, we gotta get you up out of there.
Get me up out of here. So let me get. I got a couple of more. So this is what we talk. And honestly, no. The funny thing is that y'all laughing at me, but all of the dudes online I was talking to was about 6 of us, and everybody said Keys.
They probably watch Fresh and Fit too.
Yeah,
but hold on. Let's go a little further. So for me, my other one is which we ain't talking about life decisions and shit. I'm taking Megan Good
over Beyonce.
Yes. I'm taking Megan Good.
I'm more attracted to.
Okay, you cooking with grease, like
Okay.
okay.
So now I'm cooking with
I ain't
grease.
saying you right, but
All right, but it's a little grease on it. It's a little grease on it.
So to me, when we talk Megan Good, I think that I'm more attracted to Megan Good. I think that by traditional standards, Beyonce's a 10 above Megan Good. If
That
they're
was
not
the
both 10.
that was the light skin. That was the light skin era. Like Beyonce came in that time period where
No,
when we was in
but
school,
Beyonce's
like we
not
would
like
rather
light
like the
skin.
light skinned
She's not
girl
light skin
with the long
Beyonce
hair.
ain't high yellow,
She
red,
ain't
bro. Like she just
but
light
still,
brown.
y'all, you understand? what I'm
Alicia
saying.
Keys is closer to like light skin bad.
No,
Alicia Keys is light skinned.
Yeah,
Yeah. But what I'm
y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about just like black people.
No,
like
but
red
Beyonce's
bones.
not light skin
Beyonce's-
ugly. Is what I'm saying.
I
Like
didn't say
homegirl
that.
from 3LW was light skin ugly.
I didn't say that.
She was light skin ugly.
She just had fucked up teeth.
Oh, you like her?
I did. I had a crush on
I
her,
did.
bro.
But you're not saying she was a 10.
I did not never say
She was
that.
big
I
six in
never
it.
say that. I just
No, you was attracted to her.
right.
But she was big 6 in it.
All right, so
Yes.
but then we also talked
She
about.
was that girl. Like I was like, damn, I got a chance. Like
So I think
Yeah,
I can.
yeah,
If we gonna be a blade, if we gonna keep it a blade, then we gonna have to go ahead. This is something I thought would be hilarious. So you have to 1 to 10 yourself, because women, they always talked about being like you don't feel like you have to be placed in the scale, and you know what I mean. I remember when I had posted on Facebook asking like, are there any women on my Facebook that would openly say that they're not a 10?
But that's different for because like I feel like as a man, like women care about our resources way more. So like
But
the fact that you have a job
gonna
could
do
take
it the
you
same
from
way they
don't
have
agree
us
with
do
that.
it.
I think that it's an even split. If you attractive enough nigga, you gonna get that same bad.
That's true. That's true.
As a
That's true.
nigga that got a bunch of
Yeah, you see how they was falling for old buddy in his mug shop, the nigga with the green eyes.
Oh yeah,
and
the
all
light
that.
skin, little
Yeah.
light
So
skin
bro was
robber.
fresh out. He had plenty of options.
Yeah.
Fresh out. So Johnny, what you giving yourself, bro? We ain't gonna skate past that, bro. 1 to 10, no 7.
6.
Face fresh out the
yeah, it was no 7s, right?
no 7s.
No 7s. Yeah, I say about 6.
Light 6 or a strong 6?
Strong 6.
Strong 6.
Strong 6.
Strong 6.
Strong 6.
All right, cute.
And we're just going like purely like I'm a confident person. I'm 8
For the
I'm
8, going
because
for
you
the
can't
8.
go no 7s. So
No
I think
7s.
that, I probably sit on 8. I think that all the females that I've gotten inside my life wasn't because I had money.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever reason these women be liking me, they be liking me. Could be because I'm tall. I reached the height requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Could because of like my lips. That seems to be a thing that they be liking. I don't know. It could be because of my brown skin.
He unpacking his
You know what I'm saying? Let me cook real quick. I'm just trying to give out some accents to me. But no, I mean, if I'm being honest, I think like I'll probably get like if we can get, I would give like a 7.5 or some shit like that. I know that there's certain jumps that's not, that's interesting. The thing is that I think that typically, yeah, I settle it by the 8. But I think that most women, if I'm in a room with them, and I can give like we can sit and have a conversation.
Yeah, but the conversation ain't got nothing to do with the race.
Oh no, but that'd put me up like further. That's why I'm cool. Like I'm
oh yeah, we just talk like
Nah,
if
we talking about
I get
ugly.
to talking, bro. If I get to talking, I'm
yeah.
we coming up.
You see this like
Yeah, I'm honestly.
I got the struggle bit for this jawline.
we get the
Jawline over here.
All right,
Real,
so,
you better not answer nothing but 2.
nigga, if you don't shut your motherfucker, look.
Hey, hold on. Can I say this? What I would most like is for y'all to rate each other.
hey yo.
Hey,
So, bro, but let me get mine now. So I'm finna debunk your 8 because I'm debunking your 8 because I'm gonna side with Johnny on like the 6. I'm like a 6.9. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take all 0.9 of mine. So that means Quintel has to be a 5. And Johnny has to be a 4.
Nah.
And then Tone is definitely
It's with your mom.
a 3. Tone's a 3.
Your mom doesn't think
I
so.
need
She
you
like
on confidence speaking.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Tone's a 3.
Hey, Tone, I
I
take
don't know.
3.
They call him Old Head Rail, but he the youngest one in here.
I'm a 3.
I don't know.
I take 3.
Hey,
I don't know.
I told y'all about my stretch is fire.
Hey, we don't care about none of that.
My
We
stretch
just
is
go
fire.
like they don't care about none of them resources.
No, I
They
ain't
don't-
even talking about resources.
Hey,
I'm talking about
that
my
6.9 can include changing the oil.
Hey,
My
nothing about
strongest
cutting the
back is
As
grass.
strong as back is. That don't go. So none of that going to that 6.9.
Nah, I feel it.
Nah, I'm like a 3, but I'm like a Biggie 3 though. You know, like I got the charisma. It work out itself.
Yeah, nah, but you ain't a Biggie 3.
Nah, I ain't no 3 though. I'll probably give like a 6,
Bro, you ain't on my level, bro.
bro.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Tell them where you at,
different out
Tone.
here,
Tell
bro.
them
Yeah, I
where
was
you at,
dead nice.
Tone.
You know, I'm gonna keep it, huh? I'm gonna give myself a 6. You know, women don't care about no looks like that.
I don't agree.
Nah,
with
I
that,
think
but
they do though, for real, for real.
I think that the
they
red
like
pill
to
got
have
niggas.
Nah, bro. I
Thinking
see.
that.
You know how many
All I can
pretty
say
women
is
with
like
ugly
it's
dudes,
what
bro?
my results have said. Like
You know how many pretty women
I
with
used
ugly
to be
dudes?
broke. Well, in the past I have been broke, but I've always been able to
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. You
make
you
sure I've
notice
been
you,
alright.
you know you a decent looking dude when you been growing up and getting it with, because when the bread, you ain't had no bread. You know what I mean?
Well,
You a decent looking when you
you a
been.
decent looking motherfucker when like you can fuck a bitch without money. Like if you ain't got bread and you still out here doing your thing, you gotta have something else because you ain't
Yeah,
bringing
yeah.
bread to the table. So what
And then
else?
you gotta look at her
What else you
caliber.
bringing to the table?
Yeah, I'm about to say
You gotta look at her
because
caliber, and then
I
that
also will
helps.
say this: the unhoused be fucking each other behind the dumpster too. I just learned that you're supposed to call them unhoused, but they
Unhoused.
Houseless.
But they say unalive and all that.
yeah.
We using that prefix for a whole bunch of
Yeah.
stuff now.
I'm gonna quit. I'm not putting "un" in front of nothing. I'm
Me
saying the
either, bro.
actual word, bro.
I'm not
What you
going
want
with
to say?
Homeless.
Okay,
without home.
Yeah.
but yeah, they be fucking too. So getting pussy isn't like specifically a requirement.
Oh,
But if you can get like a
Well, yeah,
decent
they do.
quality of woman,
Yeah, them homeless.
and that's what I look
motherfuckers
at
do
it.
be out
Like,
here.
as long as you're getting a nice quality that you kind of like speak to, something within the sphere. I'm getting.
Yeah, I just thought that would be
When
funny.
you talk
It's
about
like
quality, you talking about just looks, or you talking?
no, quality.
No, quality
goes
is a
beyond
mess.
looks.
Looks is definitely a part of that equation.
Yeah, but it's other things that will boost your number when you start. That's why you just use just that. You remember the Jones
Go
on
ahead.
the volleyball team?
The volleyball team.
Come on, bro.
Come on,
We ain't really
Come on,
have,
bro.
Oh no, Central did have
The
volleyball.
volleyball team, Jones.
bro. The
But those
volleyball
are the
team.
Amazons. Those
Come on.
No.
those the ones you breed
That-
with if you want.
Oh
to
no,
have
the short Jones.
No,
the
they ain't no
The
short
Amazon-
thick
Amazon,
Jones.
the volleyball, but at USC, I used to tell motherfuckers back this: the baddest group of women on our campus, it wasn't AKAs, Deltas, Sigmas.
Come on, bro.
It was the track team. Them girls was tight. They had.
Oh, I thought you was gonna go volleyball because I had smoke for you. You said that.
Nah,
Because you said you would not date a woman that's over 6'1",
it was 6'2", but yeah.
6'2".
That would be hilarious. Please bring a 6'1".
But tell him why you said that. Because he think that she could choke him up.
That's not what I said. He is lying, bro. He is lying. And actually, the conversation was on live, so y'all can go and watch it because that's not what I said. Like, hey, look, this wasn't no phone call. We recorded this conversation. You can't lie on me. I got the proof. I got the proof.
Talk to him, Johnny.
I got the proof. It ain't had nothing to do with none of that shit he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even addressing the bullshit. I'm just saying, girls who run track, cross country, they body because they run a
Oh,
lot.
they fit.
I'm be
They
honest.
fit.
We turned into the misogynist pod real quick. But
We got there.
the thing about the track Jones is that they work out too much, so they ain't got no fat up here.
And
I was thinking that.
and that's the thing.
That is true.
That's the thing
that
that
is
going because
true.
when you were saying it, I was like, yeah, I mean,
Can't go for it.
Then if she in field, she got extra strong arms, dog. She throwing shot put.
I ain't talking about no shot, but I ain't
Bro,
talking
you
about.
talking about they got the
The
Goldberg.
We
No,
call
Tone-
it the bar clock.
Tone is talking about
No,
no.
our field is like.
Tone is talking about in field. I said track. He's talking about track
He
and
said
field.
and
I said, you talking about the
I said track. I ain't talking
Nah,
about
you
infield.
liable to run across some Bearville out there. Infield,
Oh no,
Infield?
shot put.
Yeah.
Javelin.
I'm talking about, I said track. I ain't say infield.
So you ain't messing with the field shit.
I ain't messing with no shot put shit, man.
hey, let's not go too hard on it, bro. We're gonna have to wear this one. But I thought like you said, misogynistic, bro. It was only right for us to have to rate ourselves if we gonna go down that type of lane of talking. And leave it in the comments. Go ahead and
Hold on,
tell.
we're not ending
Tone,
it yet.
go ahead.
So we have a guest that just pulled up, and I love for him to give himself a rating. This is a past.
Hey, yeah, come over here.
This is a past podcast guest. He behind the scenes right now. But we got the real old head over here.
Shy. Come on, old head. Yeah, come
old head.
on.
We'll love for you to give us on a scale of 1 to 10. What you giving yourself?
Me?
Listen, I'm also let you know this is your son's question. You ain't gotta look at me crazy. This is your son's question. So go ahead, old head.
No sevens. That always fuck everybody up. Everybody want to go 7.
Everybody gonna go.
Okay.
And it's just what you look like, not no bread, none of that.
Let him go.
Okay. See, and that's I was trying to ask. What is the criteria?
Yeah, and that's why I knew where he was going.
Oh, just looks. Mm-hmm. Oh, 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easy way when you can't say 6.
Yeah. And that's the funny thing is like, bro, you supposed just go ahead and bring yourself down to that lower number and then that higher number is like,
Then when you got a 6, at least you know like I am at a 6.
Yeah, and then
tell me you're not a 6, you an 8. Okay, at least you went up.
Exactly.
You ain't gonna go down.
You got room to grow from there.
I got room to grow.
This is the best litmus test for like where you actually rank at. If you drop a selfie, like a nice clean selfie, what them DMs be looking like?
Yeah.
Mm. That's what I'm saying.
So how many girls been your DM, Q?
I'm not at.
Yeah, go ahead. So Tasha,
I'm gonna just tell you, don't nobody do it. Listen, when you drop the baby shower pictures and you drop like all over, they start to get out. They get out. By then. You know what I mean? If we talking like yesterday, that'd be a little different. When I was moving. Listen, I also say this.
Tell them free will.
You can tell when a man and a woman is inside single mode. Because that's when they're going to start like posting the fact that they've been working out in them selfies.
Hey, yeah, nah,
I see it immediately.
Yeah, when you see the people that break up on social media, bro, they out in the streets heavy.
It's always a
putting
picture
on
now.
all of the outfits and all of that.
We unfollowed each other or some shit like that.
Yeah, nah, that's facts.
Before I get into my question, I want to, just welcome back. We had a special guest pull up on us. For the second time, well, really more than that, but second time on camera with us. How we gonna do it? Old Head Senior.
Old Head Senior.
We definitely appreciate Pops for pulling back up on us. It's always a good time when he come through. Y'all probably heard some of, we've been chopping it up, bro. Always bring something new, a new wrinkle to the scheme. But I'll get into mine. My question is, and I get a prompt. I'm gonna do like you did. I'm gonna get a prompt after I ask the question. But my question is, are you a good person? And the prompt comes from, I was watching a Ray Lewis clip, and somebody said to me, "Oh, well, he's not a good person." And I was like, "Well, are any of us a good people then? Are any of us good people? Like, we all make mistakes. We all got demons that we fight, and we all got skeletons in our closet. And if he ain't a good person, then how is any of us good people?"
I think Ray Lewis is the crazy example of like put the moral badge.
I'm just saying, but if you listen,
he might have killed somebody.
He killed somebody, yeah, but there's a lot of people. I'm saying, but hey, can I finish my question? Like we can get into it, but like there's a reason why I use him as an example.
I just know I ain't ever killed nobody. So,
but have you? You never killed nobody, but you ain't never made any mistakes. You ain't never done anything wrong. You perfect. Ain't none of it.
Go at the level of killing somebody, probably.
Yeah,
not,
I think that there's a differentiation of like things that you do, and that's why like
levels.
In jail they have different sentences. Everybody gonna get a year, and everybody gonna get life.
Okay, can I
go ahead, unpack your.
Can I finish? Nah.
I know you want to finish, but I might have a senior moment, and I don't want to have a senior moment because I have a good statement, a rebuttal to what you just
Let
said.
me
So
finish.
let me put it out there so y'all can go back because
Okay.
I'll lose it and it'll be gone. I have a senior moment, so I don't want to have a
Okay,
senior moment.
go
'Cause it's
ahead, go
good.
ahead, go ahead.
I was looking at a movie. This is piggybacking off your question. I was looking at a movie, and in the movie, this dude came to somebody's washed up on the, let's say washed up on the shore. He got shot up, washed up on the shore. Nice man. He was a homeless man, buggy, whatever. Got him, put him inside the buggy, took him to a doctor. The doctor patched him up because he wasn't going to, his oath or whatever. He wasn't going to leave him there bleed to death. Patched him up. He said, you can't stay here because all I can do is patch you up. I have to take you to a hospital. He said, I can't go to the hospital. So the doctor asked him, he said, are you a good person? Same thing you just said. Are you a good person? You know what the man said?
No.
I don't know. The doctor didn't put him out, didn't call the police, and didn't take him to the hospital. He let him heal right there at his home for like 3 or 4 months. To make a long story short, at the end of the movie, he asked the doctor, he said, what made you let me stay, not call the police or, none of that? And he said, only a good man would answer that question that way.
Mm.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
you asking all of us that question, basically, and everybody that's listening, that's just something to think about.
That's crazy because I was going.
That doesn't change my answer though. Go ahead, Johnny.
I'm trying to catch 22.
Yeah. I ain't going. It was a good story. It
That was-
sounded like a good movie, but I ain't going.
Hey, he got me. He got me. He got me.
Hey, Johnny was rewriting his whole. That man got a notepad. He about to start deleting shit.
He got me. I was like, oh shit.
Johnny about to delete the whole notepad, all his notes and shit.
Hey, always
Go ahead.
say I ain't for sale. He went
He got me with that one. Hey, that was fine. That was fine. Damn, I got even But like my question was because like even going like to continue building on that, it's like who am I to judge this man based on the worst mistake he made in his life? And like I hear the person he's become after that mistake, I respect it. I hear what he's saying. I watch him when he talk to the kids, when he talk to the youth, when he come and talk back to the kids. I see a good person, and I can't, or what I perceive to be a good person. I can't, but who am I to judge the person whether he's good or bad off his worst mistake? Because I wouldn't want nobody to judge me off my worst mistake or my lowest moment, or when I was fighting my demons, or based off the skeletons I have in my closet. So it's like it's a perception thing, and I think the idea that most people are good just lets a lot of people off of like accountability to even hold that up. The second part to my question is why I don't think most people are good and why I think we're all in that in between, that neutrals, because we got all this technology in the world, and as a collective, a whole, we never found peace. It's always been wars.
All right, so wait.
It's always been wars that's been. Let me finish. It's always been wars that be fought. We live in the most technology, the most modern era. It's 30 global conflicts going on right now in the world. We're on the brink of World War III as we speak with the most technology we ever had. And like I remember, like J. Cole even said that it's like, what would you do with power? No one man should have all that power. It's like if I got in the position of some of these people, would I do anything different? Would I not be greedy for my family and try to? I don't know the answer. So like he said, I don't know if I'm a good person. I just gotta pose that question. If we're gonna say certain people, well, I can see the goodness in them. If they're not good people, then it's like, how can I sit up here and say I'm a good person or most of us are good people based on the conditions that we live in as a whole? With all this technology that we have and we still going through all of this, how can most of us be good people?
Gotcha. So I got two questions for you. One would be, are we speaking individual or society? Because like you took an individual point and you broadened it to society, and I think that
I'm
my
speaking on
answer in
both
it,
of those
my
points.
answer in itself would differ in that.
For sure.
So then I would also ask, um, so are we like how are we judging what makes a good person? Because then we have to have like some level of like metric. If we're just talking about like social media likes and shit like that, I think that's different than like the moral code and compass in which you move by, and like how your actions throughout like your life and the intentionality of your actions, especially when given the option to do other, could speak to the character of who you are.
It's more to that latter. It's more about your moral compass. Now, and that's the one thing when even asking this question,
Okay.
I've had trouble with because, and me being the person I am, I understand how like right and wrong, good and bad is subjective. It's a subjective term. It's something that based on where you are, it can change. Cause like killing a person can be bad, but if like that person broke into your house and was threatening you and you killed them, most people would be like, and you had a family in there, most people are like, oh, he's a hero.
Mm.
You still killed the person, but it's based on the situation,
It's still
the
based in the
the
the moral compass. It still breaks
it,
all the way
it
back
it
down to the moral
but it
compass.
all comes down to good and bad, right and wrong is
But it's not. But that's the thing. Is that good and bad, right and wrong is not as black and white as what you know what I mean. So that's what makes the moral compass. The intent becomes more important than the action itself.
okay. So
All right, so are we taking this into like a really philosophical way, or are we going like really basic human interaction? Because like the idea of like morality and is there an objective good is a conversation that we can have, and that's closer where you was trying to lean to. It's not that
that's kind of where
I think that that was a bad example of it because the
who Ray
like
Lewis
no, but
specifically. Or,
like somebody breaking into your house and you defending your family.
well, yeah, that yeah, I just can't.
Or
Yeah,
Ray Lewis, both of those are bad. Like there
yeah, the
is
Ray
a
Lewis one a little
philosophical
better, but
argument for
the
that.
second one wasn't no best. But I get you.
Okay.
Continue. Yeah, my bad.
But yeah, all right. So, maybe Johnny, do you think that you're a good person?
I don't know. Like not to
He
go
got
back,
them still an old head
Yeah,
that
yeah.
came off
but
the
All right,
book.
no, but no. Oh, okay. Well, no.
that's
If
like that. I have to rewrite the notes for
well,
you.
no. Okay. I
Let us answer
Go
that while
ahead.
you think about
what
it.
if I go with my original answer is no. I'm no like if my original answer would be no, because I'm not perfect. I am
That ain't
dealing
what you
with things.
said though. A good person is not perfection.
Nobody's with it at all. You right?
But a good, but the person like my original point was if Ray Lewis wasn't a good person based on his mistakes and how he's tried to correct them and how far he's come, I've made my own mistakes. I haven't come nearly as far as him, and it's like if I can't even do what he does, how can I like how are any of us good people then? If we
That's just such a crazy like metric.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what the what?
I
So
think well
crazy.
it's a great
Holy shit.
question. I think it's a great
Yeah,
question.
I
To
think it
me,
is a great
it
question.
leans into
okay,
like
I
even like
might
a
have had the
mental health
wrong
question.
example,
Hmm.
but
To me, it leans into like even like a mental health question because it could
Hmm.
be you can perceive a thing and it's based on how you feel about yourself,
Hmm.
and so it actually even goes into a mental health question. So I think that I don't think we're trying. I don't want to try to steal your thunder, but I think that like
What do you mean
allowing
by
like
steal your
allow
thunder?
no I was gonna let quit answer the question just based on how you asked it. Like, are you a good person? Do you think that you're a good person?
Do I think that if I was to strip myself down and if I was to, in general, ask all the people around me, I think that yes, I think I'm a good person. I think it's based off the fact that like I really do try and be fairly moral in specific avenues. I try to be very let me try and make sure I put the words together because I think that it's important to kind of place it where go ahead.
well, I'm gonna say no, I'm not asking like it shouldn't be based on what other people think.
No,
I'm
but
just
I
talking
think
about
that
based
like
on like
there's
what do you think about like
of course. Well, I mean, I think the like one our ego is always going to tell us that we're a good person, but
Mm-hmm.
like
Facts.
bad people justify their actions
by being good people.
by saying I'm still a good person at heart.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the consistency of your actions and what you do for other people, especially when you don't have to, is like a really big concept. But for me, like I don't think I would be pressed for, and I would encourage anybody like if you can name like the times where I've snaked somebody or like I lied to somebody. Like these are all like things that I intentionally do. Even if like for example, if I say something when somebody, and this is like a really intentional practice that I do. If I say something when somebody's not in the room, it's almost like now my mission to make sure I say it when they're in the
front
room.
of them. In
Yeah,
front
like
of
so.
them. Yeah.
So nobody can ever say that I said something here and I didn't say it there.
That's a big one for
Like
me
so,
too.
if like somebody is not in the room, I always have to do that. And like these are all practices for me that I try and make sure that I do because of in general, whatever my belief system is and where it lies at, I think that the core to whatever happens after I pass is just being really, really moral and a good person.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that's something that I really try and stand by, in which I don't know. Again, if but I also like I think that these are great spaces also if there is fallacy in my thinking. I'm not opposed to having that challenge as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with what Quintez said or Q said. I for me, I think that what I base in my answer is I believe that I am. You know what I mean? Or I'm on the cusp of getting to the either I'm there or I'm on the cusp of getting there. I don't really know if I'm the one to make that judgment, but I'll just say for me, what I perceive of myself, I'll say yes. What I and my reason behind it's crazy because it even goes even with my before I was looking at trying to get more into get back into
Spirituality.
Spirituality. I was hanging my hat on simply being a good person. And so like my whole thing was like even if I don't believe all of these things that that are in the book and all of this stuff, I know that when on Judgment Day, God will see my heart and know based on my intentions of what I was trying to put out into the world that I meant no ill will. And so that would be what I felt would make me a good person. I did for I help people. Not necessarily I'm gonna go and do a whole bunch of stuff for you, but I'll literally sit there and let's talk about it. I'll listen to people, which I think that's a very important
Like
thing
you don't
too.
fuck people over.
And I'm definitely not finna fuck nobody over. You know what I mean? I stand in moral. I try to stand in the best morality that I know, which it'll continue to grow more and more. But I think I stand in the morality that I know, and my intention is never to cause harm or to, you know what I mean, to even like if somebody comes up in a conversation, my thing is not to like it's not gossiping. I'm not a gossiping guy. I'm not just gonna sit there and just keep you know what I mean picking at someone's faults or you know what I mean. That's not ever a thing for me. Like I don't really even like that type of conversation. So like I would say yeah, but back to what I was saying is that like I literally would base whether or not I was doing whether I felt my spiritual belief system, whether I was living up to it, I based it on whether or not I was being a good person or not. So, but then of course over time I kind of realized that like, or I ain't gonna say for me specifically, I realized that to stand where I stand, I myself need more than just being a good person to feel that I'm actually encompassing everything that I would like to encompass.
Feel whole.
Can I?
Yes.
No, what y'all said is valid because, like, historically, I've felt that way about myself. I'm a good person. That's what I've hung my hat on. As far as like, I'm good intentioned. I'm not ill will. I want the best for the people around me. I also know, like, I ain't perfect, and like when it came to like the Ray Lewis thing, the reason why they struck a certain chord with me is like I know Ray Lewis and made mistakes, but I listen to him and I get inspired by some of the things he said, and I feel like he's a good person. And if he's made certain mistakes, we've all made certain mistakes.
I got a question for you. I got a question for you though. Do you think that a person can go from being not a good person to evolving into a good person? Do you think that that's something that can happen, or do you think that once I've committed whatever this act is, that I'm stamped as a bad person, and then that just lives with me?
I don't know. Like that's something I'd have. I don't know if like the true inner being that you're born with if it does, like it obviously you go through stages and like there's certain things that happen, but I always wonder how much of it go back to the nature versus nurture. I wonder how much, like, no matter how much nurture you go through, does your natural nature matter? And that's just and that's one of the questions. Like, cause I've always thought of myself. I don't think I'm a bad person. I've never thought of myself as like an ill will. But when I look at certain people, and am I like a really good person?
Gotcha.
You know,
So John, I do want to like a quick interjection, and I'm gonna throw the tone. I also think that something that you probably shouldn't do is judge what you believe famous people are off of what like their actions in the public is. And so to me, I would never look at the life of any famous person and say that they're good or bad.
I have no
Because
idea.
that's only public appeal. Only the people closest to them can tell you.
that's
Because
true.
those are the people that they're yielding the power to.
That's true.
And
That's true.
like yeah, like any of those people, I don't know whoever the best philanthropist. We done heard shit about Gandhi. Ain't fuck with
No,
me.
that's true. And
So like to me, I personally don't think that the best plan of action when it comes down to judging if somebody's a good person is like perception. It's like saying I think Braille is a good person because his IG fly. Like that shit.
I get
Yeah,
you.
but I also get the
You know what I'm
concept
saying?
that Johnny was getting to. Like, how can you just say he's a bad person if he changes his life after, like, judging somebody by their worst act that they do in life? And I kind of look at stuff like that anyway. Like, you gotta have grace for people because I would want it for myself. Like, I
Oh,
know
for
I've
sure.
had some moments where
Yeah,
I was
that's
not
what
my best
that's
self,
what I was saying.
and I would hate to be judged for that for the rest of my life. Like, oh, I'm this person because I did this thing when I was 12 or I did this thing when I was 14. That would be the worst.
Right, but then that's
Like,
the idea of thinking that like that's why I asked the
That's
question. Do
that's
you think
that's
that a
exactly what
person
I was
King
talking
that's
Bro.
about.
why I
and
actually think that do you think that a person who does the bad deed or bad act commits a bad act, does that stamp them for the rest of their life no matter what
I
they
don't think
do
so.
But it kind of
as
do because
the
when I brought
same
up Ray Lewis, y'all said he killed the man, and
I
like
didn't
like
even
like
know
y'all
that.
was judging him
No, no.
based
All
off
right. So
that
what
one
I said is
mistake that
that,
he made. You didn't think he could be a good person.
but
Nah, that
if you
is
could
truth.
really,
That's truth.
That's what happened.
That's truth. That's
okay,
what happened.
but
That's what
did
happened.
I also never said that he was a bad person either. What I said is that that's
It was
a
a bad
crazy
example.
thing, like to compare yourself to. Saying that he killed somebody, now he's saying good shit. Am I a bad person?
I'm saying,
Like
but if
that's a
you but
crazy
but if you
example.
watch him now, like you can hear the goodness in him, like you can see the stuff that he speaks.
Right, but
But to go back and say he can't be a good person now based on what he
but
did,
whoever said that,
you kind of just did.
No, he
you
didn't
still
say
not
that.
listening
What?
to what I'm saying.
okay, can I interject for a second? Okay, let me ask you a question. Um, who would you say, somebody that you really close to, really close to? I'm talking about like a daughter or a mother or
My pops,
your pops.
yeah,
Okay, so if I walked up to your pops and shot him in the head, could you forgive me?
probably not.
Okay, see, you just answered your own question. Person, you can forgive a person you're supposed to let. You it makes you a good person or not if you can forgive them and whatnot. If you can't do it, then
I don't know if I agree with that.
Well,
Yeah.
just because I couldn't forgive
Because
you,
see,
just because I couldn't forgive you for shooting my pops would make me a bad person.
no. I'm not saying it would make you a bad person. I'm saying it answers your question as in because if you can't forgive me and say that 5 years, 10 years from now, that I could have regretted and changed and could come up to you,
I get
shake
the
your
point.
hand and say, I'm sorry, and we good from that point, then you just answered your own question. That's what I'm saying.
Well, see, nah, because like honestly, if
You
you,
understand what question
well,
you
no,
were trying to
I do know what you're saying, but like honestly,
But see,
I might not be a good person because honestly, if you
It's
did
not
that,
talking about you.
but no,
Yeah,
I'm just
he
talking
was
about.
using.
So he's
I'm
not.
talking in general too. But like, if you did that, I'm the
No,
reason
he's
why.
not. I think you're
Let me
answering the
finish.
wrong
Let me
question.
just
All right, go ahead.
let me just
Continue.
talk to him. My thing is, if you did that, and then you changed as a person, and you became a band, and you came 20 years later and tried to shake my hand, I'm still gonna want my get back.
see,
Like I'm gonna still like
Right, but that's not. He's not asking that question in POV of you. He's talking about that person. You asked the question: do you think that a person that killed somebody can be a good person later than? Like if you did a really bad deed,
he could still
and
be
then
a good person.
He
Like
just
like
don't
even
see
if
it
he
that way.
changes, even if he becomes a saint,
so
a
you're
saint.
not the good person. person did.
That's how I feel because I'ma still want my
And
get back for what you did.
that's why I want to interject that.
I'ma still want
That's
my
where I was
get
about
back,
to
no
go.
matter how good you could become Mother Teresa or like you could be the best person in the world. If you did that, I'ma still want my get back.
Okay.
And so I'm not gonna forgive you, no matter how good of a person you become. I'm not gonna forgive you for that.
Okay, so but then you should then if that's the way you feel, then you should not feel as if that man was a good because he did it to somebody. He did it to somebody.
You're right.
Then you gonna turn around and say he a good man because he said some good things after he
But
did
if it would have
I-
happened to
okay.
you,
You
then
see
you
what
would
I'm
have feel
saying?
that
No, that's a
person
good
was a good
point.
person.
That's a
So,
good
I
point.
wanna-
That's a good
I
point.
actually wanna answer this
Like that
question.
is a good point. But
Which one is?
If I was to answer this question, like just
he didn't do it to me. That's the only difference. Like that's the only difference.
if I was answering this question just for myself, like I would say that I try to be a good person. And the reason I say that is because I think in order to say that somebody's good, you have to look at what is my capacity to do wrong. And I have the capacity to do wrong. I know there's a lot of stuff that I have the capacity depending on the situation. Like wrong is wrong no matter what. But depending on the situation, people can do different things. So I think you have to do that. What I think more so is that I try to be a good person on the daily. I try to be a good, and I try to focus on that. I think that's as much as you can really do. I don't think anybody's really a good
I guess
person or.
like maybe
Wrong and right is
it
objective.
was actually at a really finite way. I think that if we all was just to give like as best of an answer that's not inside a black and white, we would say that like we consistently are trying to be better.
Yeah.
And I mean, I
Like
said
none of
that
us
too.
is like I'm a good I'm a good
Yeah.
whatever.
That's
It's like
why
I'm
movies
always
never
trying
really
to be better at X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like I may not be there yet, but I'm still working for it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not about like a right or wrong answer. And I think that when we sit there and like
It's not.
put it into like good and bad is subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was going to ask the question. I think if we were to go into a little bit of the moral, not moral, but like philosophy side of it, do y'all think that good and bad is a subjective? Do you think that good and bad in general is subjective?
I think good and bad are finite. I think there's good, there's bad. I think right
So you
and
don't
wrong.
think it's subjective?
I think right and wrong can change based on the situation that you're on. I think legal and illegal can change based on, but I think like there's always a basis for like good deeds and bad deeds.
So I would ask you this: if you believe that, where is it that you come up with what is good and bad, or right and wrong? Where is it that you derive the ideas of which one's right and which one's wrong?
That's kind of where I struggle because it's like I'm so open minded to like.
So what makes you say that they're finite then?
Because I do think there has to be some finite, like it's just like when it comes to truth,
Is
like
it a feeling? It just
But there's
feels.
objective truths. But right now we're talking about
but like two
good
plus
and bad.
2 is 4, and it's always gonna be 4. That's not
Right,
objective.
but
that's
that
finite.
is an objective truth.
What?
That's not subjective. That's an objective truth.
Yeah, it's just
that's
the
always
truth,
going to be there.
right?
But good and bad doesn't have to be there because there's so.
But
much
you don't
to
think there's ever like a 2 plus 2
I do think that there
except when it comes to good and bad.
I think
when
that
it comes
there
to
are
morality,
specific goods that are objectively good
right?
and objectively bad.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. There are good and
but
bad.
There's
That's
a
just
bunch of gray area in there as well.
that's true. Yeah, no, that's true. What's up, Tony?
No, I was about to just basically say like just to put this in an example. If you was looking at somebody and say like somebody like you would think killing somebody is a bad thing typically, right? But say they killed somebody who was terrorizing the neighborhood. Like this person was causing problems for a lot of people's homes and everything. A lot of people might see that as a good thing. So I get the whole subjective thing of things. I kind of look at stuff like that too. Like good and bad can be subjective based on the situation you're in a lot of cases. Mm.
Okay.
I don't know. I like we could keep going because like even that example, I still think killing that person is bad. There might be good effects that came from it, but the person who killed them, you still like was killing that person the only way to stop to get the desired effect that you wanted.
Mm.
So it's still a bad thing. It might have had good effect, but like if you like
What do you say? Desired manner.
Oh yeah, they make them act it off their Rick Ross. Yeah.
So
That pig act in the desired manner.
yeah. Oh, that's that Stokely Carmichael. That's
Yeah.
Stokely. That's my boy Stokely. I forgot what he
He said, the pig is wrong. You whip your guns out on him, blow
And-
him away,
and you have
then-
made him act in a desired manner. I know exactly what y'all talking about. That Tears of Joy or something.
Tears of Joy,
Tears
yeah.
of Joy, one of the best songs ever. But like, and a shout out Stokely Carmichael. I forgot that's his slave name. I forgot his chosen name, so I don't want to.
I did know it at one point. I forgot.
I forgot it too, but that's Stokely Carmichael. But Tubi, Toby or not,
or not Toby.
Toby or not Toby.
OTW on the to be fair.
But these are but like these philosophical questions where we talk. That's where this shit came from. Because I'm like, damn, am I? I thought I was a good person this whole time, but
And you know the dopest thing is that like me and Q had the same conversation we had more recently, and I done brought that same conversation up multiple times. Is that I was saying to Q, I was like, I don't think that any question that's really worth talking about has a yes or no answer, a right or wrong answer. Any of the things that are really worth like dialoguing about, there's no right or wrong answer. So like, it's no need to be so held on to
hell bent on one of them.
you know what I mean? It's like, come on, bro. It's
that's
like
a good point.
Yeah, I used to work dogmatic. Like you shouldn't like being dogmatic to a belief doesn't allow you to be able to change, grow, and like experience other things.
What's up? What you?
No, I was just like, see, after my action, you was gonna have a reaction, and that was to be to kill me. So then that makes.
I didn't say that. I said I was gonna get my get back.
Oh, well, I mean, how you gonna get back? If I get the only way, I'm gonna tell you, that's my son right there. If you take my son from me, I'm gonna feel like you feel.
Right.
And the only satisfaction. Hold on.
But you said that about taking my dad.
I understand that.
So
I
that's
understand
the
that. No. But I'm trying to get to where you was at. If you take my son from me, then I'm gonna be where you was at. I'm gonna want my get back, and I'm gonna have mine because I don't care if I live or not, as long as you don't.
You gonna get.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get mine because I don't care if I live or not, as long as I know you don't.
So no matter how much I change, I could if I killed you, I could be the best person in the world, but you're still
exactly. But that makes me a bad person though, because I'm supposed to have enough goodness,
right,
and kindness in me.
Or does it though? That's still subjective.
Forgive.
It's still subjective.
According to the so-called.
But that's where I was at
biblical.
though. That's where I was at.
Yeah, but I'm with you though. I'm saying I'm with you. I don't want to hear. Don't talk to me about.
There's certain things that you're gonna do that's gonna turn me to a bad person. Exactly. I'm going to be a bad person.
Exactly. Now my wife would say I'm a bad person, but the only thing I do is I have indiscretions. We're gonna call it. I've had indiscretions in the past, so I'm a bad person for that. But other than that, I don't lie about anything to her. I make sure that if she tell me she needs something, whatever, I make sure I do that. I take care of her in every way. The only thing I've ever lied about is an indiscretion, and that was my way of protecting you. So still in that indiscretion, I was still trying to be good. But other than that, I think I'm a fairly decent person. I know there's plenty of people that are a lot worse than me. You know what I'm saying? I try to help people. I have tenants. I let them get away with their rent and stuff.
I'll say this.
To help them out.
I know I'm not a bad person. I know there's a lot of people that done things and are less thoughtful than me. But
every time they say that you a bad person, Johnny, I say not Johnny though. Like he not. They be like, nah, Johnny, he a bad nigga, dog. Get away from him.
I appreciate that, my dog. I appreciate that. But on the same token, like what he said, there's a lot of spaces and a lot of things that I go through, and I see people who like have handled it way better than me, and like who show way more great, and so I'm not nearly as good as a person as some of these people because like what he said, there's people that have been through that shit, and then like had that forgiveness in there. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. So
I ain't never
like
gonna get
like based on that, I'm a bad like there's a lot of parts of me that is not good because
I ain't
there's a lot of things I still need to work on, and there's a lot of growth that needs to happen on this side for me to start to think that I'm a good person, and just in that space, because
Those principles are not in my belief system.
I don't like, cause yeah, I mean, I don't sit and think all the time whether I'm a good or bad person, but it was just a thought that I had, and this it's just it's fun to bring it up, in in these conversations. For the record, I do think I'm a good person, but
What? You just went
They
through
just
all of
did
that.
all that to say that
The
shit.
double.
We polka dots, panda man.
but like we ain't got time for all of that. We ain't got time for that. I got a plan.
Hey, well, I think he found the box, and then he
Yeah.
decided to like. He thought that, and
Hey.
then he jumped back in it on the
Hey.
back end.
And he said, "Fuck it."
I just had to end it there. I just had to end it there.
Oh, it was a
I just had
properly
to,
placed
but
pen.
but hey, still I got a plane to land.
Uh,
I got a plane to land. Like let me do this. Let me do this. Hey, appreciate y'all for checking us out. If you've been watching to this point, hit the like button. If you haven't already, ring the bell, get the notifications. Check us out on live. It's just aired. We got a few of them lives. I gotta go back and get that. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Where else we at? TikTok, and Threads. What's the name of it? The To Be Fair Show.
the
Oh yeah, I guess we been
The
fucking niggas up.
To Be Fair Show. I am your host, Johnny P.
over here, real.
It's Q.
Special guest, Old Head Senior. Appreciate
Yes.
him pulling up on us. And we out.